great start to the season as they're 4-1-1. One of the key parts of their success has been their goalkeeper, Corey Valeroy.
Corey Valeroy has definitely been a key in FHN season so far. He is the leading goal scorer with 5 goals, and Caleb Mueller.
Actually switched with number 12, Bryce Kinsey. High delivery comes in, and it's number 6, Tony DeCastro on that, over the post, and that's in trouble with goalkeeper Corey Valeroy. So I'll do friendly though. One striker. Shifty move by Bumgardner.
continues the attack for the Spartans, but it isn't in the end cleared by Connor Murphy, who was in the end looking for, but it goes back and forth, and now Richie Taylor sends it forward. Adam Shine leading the counter, plays a through ball over to Joel Arena. Gets by one defender and plays it all the way back to number 5, Ethan Williams. Now Bumgarner sends a ball in for number 6, Tony Castro. And then the Spartans control the ball around the 25-yard line. Williams tries to clear it, but just ends right back in the grasp of the Spartans, and they are showing enormous pressure on the Knights. We can see if the back line can withstand this pressure. Elzine looking for Lange, but gets cut out by the defender. But here's Connor Murphy spinning around Ralston and plays out wide to Elzine. Elzine looking for options, takes on 2 defenders, make it 30, and he plays it over to number 14, Jesus Barcinas. Castellano sends a great ball over to Joel Areno, but just goes a little bit too far ahead of him. Good ball and good idea by Castellanos, but just a little bit off in the execution.
So far, the Spartans have put a lot of pressure on the Francis Howell North Knights defense, yet hardly any shots have gone to Corey Valeroy. This shows that our defensive line, consisting of 2 seniors, is really standing strong against the tough Spartans.
First substitutions of the day. The first for the Knights is Jake Gresso coming on at the striker position for Yusuf Lange. Coming on for the Spartans is number 22, Cameron Blyok. A throw in for the Spartans here with 26 minutes remaining in the first half of tonight's game. You were mentioning earlier, Sam, about the strengths of this team, and it really comes in the back line. And you mentioned the 2 seniors and Richie Taylor and Thomas Bell. Richie has the height advantage over most forwards, and that gives him, in either crosses or corners, the ability to win a header and control the ball, and it really helps their back line. And Thomas has a bit of speed and has a good vision going forward as well to create some counterattacks. And anytime the ball comes in for an attack or a through ball, they're always, or most of the time, cleared out because of those 2's self-awareness, and it really helps a goalkeeper like Corey Valeroy, who's already talented enough. But when you have two really formidable center backs in Bell and Richie Taylor, it really strengthens the defense and makes the score sheet in favor of the Knights a majority of the time. Ball sent through by Bumgarner, but it's cleared out by Jesus Barcinas, and here's junior Jake Gressel playing it back to Connor Murphy, who sends it forward looking for the running Adam Shine, but once again that's Brandon Bumgarner on the other end, stopping that attack. Bryce Kinsler sends the ball up forward to the striker, and he tries to win it back, but that's senior Tiller Ising, who gets past a couple defenders and tries to get Gressel again, but this has been a problem so far for the Knights. They've been trying to get their strikers going forward, but most of their balls have been just a little bit, or have had just a little bit too much on them, and it's cost them so far. But at least they're getting the attack going. They're making the defense worry, and sooner or later one of these should be able to connect.
Exactly. By playing these long balls, hopefully their intention is to spread out the defense, making them think that they'll always stay long in order to have the forward check back and play some short passes in order to maintain possessions. This may go on later in the night, as right now they're trying to figure out how the Central defense will play.
Joey Mueller sends the ball through, but it reaches no one other than the winger on the right. Spartans try to gain possession again. Bumgarner makes a move past Shine. Here comes Shine on the counter. He plays up to Gresso, who just remains onside. And now he tries to cut it back, but that is good defensive work there by number 21, Bobby Hubbard, for the Spartans. He clears it out for a Francis Howell North throw-in, and that'll be taken by junior number 8, Joel Arena. 23 minutes remaining here in the first half. Arena dazzles by 2, and Gressel tries to play it back, what looked like for Ethan Williams, but it was good defense again by the Spartans. Bit of a miscommunication there, and number 12 tries to do this back heel, but that doesn't work, and Elzine cuts it out. But they regain possession here around the 30-yard line, the Spartans. Ball played across to number 15, Julian Mueller. Looks at his options and sees 12, Kinsler, and he plays it back, but no one's home. And here's Connor Murphy leading the attack. And there it is again, not being able to find Adam Shine going forward, but this time around the Knights are able to recollect possession in the ball through Ethan Williams and get a little bit longer of a possession. Trying to go forward was Jake Garesso, but he's just a foot offside. In the back line for the Spartans, play a nice offside trap to get him, and they'll take the ball right around the 15-yard line. Nice give and go there between the two left-sided wingers for the Spartans, but it ends up going straight to the Knights. But Jesus Barcinas thought there might have been a winger outside, probably Elzine, but he was a little bit further up the field, or back the field, and no one was home. But here's Elzine again. Wins it, plays Gresso. Gresso went along with the keeper, but that is Logan Morris just beating Gresso to the ball, and it stops maybe the best chance of the night so far for the Knights. Ball intended for Curtis Ralston. Has too much power on it and it goes out for a Knights throw-in, taken by Victor Castellanos, who throws it to Adam Shine, who plays it over to Jesus Marcinez, but in the end, number 20 for the Spartans, Armin Gregorian, wins it and gains possession for Francis Howell Central, which in the end just leads to an errant pass by number 15, Julie Mueller, and another throw-in to be taken by Victor Castellanos. Substitution here for the Spartans as Bobby Hubbard comes out, and well, it looks like that is Brandon Baumgartner coming over to the left side. He was playing right back originally, but number 23 Bruce Bixler steps into Baumgartner's role, and he'll play right back for the Spartans. With just under 19 minutes remaining here in the first half, Sam, what have you noticed so far in the first 21 minutes?
So far, it's been a really equal game between the Knights and the Spartans. Both have had some hard times connecting in the top half when it gets to connecting that forward. The Spartans probably having a little bit of a better chances on goal and with a little bit more possession in their offensive half. Yet the Knights defense has been really strong throughout the night and not even letting them pass the 10-yard line in most cases. A Spartan that's really impressed me throughout the night is goalie Logan Morris. For it being his first year playing goalie and he stepped up for his team, that's very impressive as a senior in his role. I remember being a part of the girls varsity team when we were looking for a new goalie, and it was just little tricks and trades of the goalie position that girls would not understand as easily, and he's done a very good job throughout the rest of the night.
Alec Johnson coming in for the Spartans and finds Nicastro, but has a really nice fly tackle there by Richie Taylor to clear it out before a Spartans throw-in. Gardner gets past Castro and makes him slide and miss. Sends the ball in, but that is Thomas Bell who clears it upfield looking for Gresso, but Gregorian does really well in playing it back and regaining possession for the Spartans. The Spartans winger makes it past almost all the defenders on the Knights, and his shot goes just wide of the right post. That was number 10, Caleb Mundell, giving the Spartans their best chance of the night here with 16 minutes remaining. Throwing a word to the Knights, and Castellanos plays it to Gresso. gives it to Elzine, but that is number 14 Ralston coming up and just smacking it forward, and Richie Taylor's all by himself in the back line and has all day to play to Thomas Bell to get started a Knights attack. Reina tries to dance around the defender, but the right back did not, or the right winger did not give for the Spartans. And this is number 2, Alec Johnson with the ball for the Spartans. Through the ball looking for Bruce Bixler is knocked out by Ethan Williams, and another substitution on the way for the Spartans as number 12 Bruce Kinser comes back in for the Spartans.
Another factor that could be coming to this game is actually the sun. I keep seeing the referee putting up his hand in order to shield the sun, so that could affect the way that the Spartans and the Knights play the ball, especially over on this left side of the field.
Barcenas plays all the way back to Castellanos, who gets the possession started on the other side of the field. And here's Elzine going against Ralston. And in the end, it is a Knights throw-in. Castellanos throws it in quick, looking for Gresso. Gresso plays it almost in the middle, and looks like one of our first fouls of the night is awarded to the Knights. And they'll have a nice free kick right around the 20-yard line. And they'll be looking to get in some of those big bodies like Richie Taylor and Adam Shine and try to get ahead on it. Here with 13 minutes remaining. Thomas Bell to take. Ball comes in. Richie Taylor almost gets his head on it, but it's cleared by the defender for the Spartans. Or it actually took a deflection off of Francis Howell North Knight, and it is a throw-in for the Spartans. Number 18, Marcos Ramirez for the Francis Howell North Knights is getting ready to come on. Most likely in favor of a player on the wings. Bumgarner sends the ball in, but it was not calmly dealt with at all by Joey Mueller, and the Knights almost get a counter going, but that is once again Logan Morris dealing with it like he's a natural veteran. Gressel chasing after the ball, but it is played back to Morris, and he plays it out wide. The Knights are making 2 substitutions here with 11 minutes remaining. Marcos Ramirez coming on to play on that left wing in favor of Joel Arena. And at the striker position, the third change at that spot is number 23, Mateo Morales, coming in for Jake Gresso. Joey Mueller comes in, and a big save there by Corey Valeroy with 10 minutes remaining. The best chance of the night for the Spartans is taken easily by Valeroy, and Richie Taylor starts a new possession for the Knights. As once again, Mueller coming in, and he's been their most creative player for the Spartans. He's been all over the field, dancing around defenders, but this time he turns the ball over here to Morales, and Morales sends it forward to Adam Shine, who stays just onside, right around the 15-yard line, looking for an option, but no one was home, and it's cleared all the way back to Ethan Williams. Here's Connor Murphy, and he had a miscommunication there with Morales. Morales was going out wide, trying to get that wide ball to try to expand the defense, but Murphy had a different idea, trying to play it straight through the middle to get a one-on-one with the keeper. But anyways, it ends in a Spartans possession. Just about 9 minutes remaining here in the first half.
Now with about 9 minutes left in the Adam Shine on goal, and he's onside taking a shot, and it goes just wide. Both teams have had a lot of possession throughout this game, but finally, after about 30 minutes of play, the game seems to be settling down, and both teams are losing their high pressure, probably due to fatigue, and is now just possessing the ball around one another, trying to create chances. This is good because finally the Knights will have a chance to use their high possessive team, especially in the midfield, being controlled by Connor Murphy and Adam Shine.
Yeah, Sam, you were talking about the fatigue, and you can start to see some of the tired legs out there on defense for the Spartans, and fresh legs like Morales and others for the Knights can kind of expose that tired defense and be able to connect on those through balls as they just did with Adam Shine. It went over the bar, but still, if they can get more of those to connect, they have more opportunities to get the ball in the back of the net. 8 minutes remaining here in the first half. Ralston tried to take it on Murphy, but he plays it back one-on-one. Now here he comes again. And Elsing did wonderful to get around Ralston and win the ball back, but Ralston continues to chase after it, but Castellanos sends it up for Morales, but that is Gregorian, who deals with it nicely once again in the back and plays it to his goalkeeper, Morris. Adam Shine coming in with Morris right there, and this time Morris wins the race. It was good work there by Marcos Ramirez and Barcinas, but in the end, the goalkeeper wins the ball. And it looks like there might have been a foul called on the Knights. Yeah, it was Adam Shine. And with 7 minutes left, they'll get a free kick right around the 10-yard line. Baumgartner gets the ball right around the 50. Good ball played across by number 23 for the Spartans, Bruce Bixler. Mueller plays it through for Ralston. Ralston sends it in, and it goes in there. He's just offside. That is number 12 for the Spartans, the forward, Bryce Kinsler, just getting over the back line, and probably was like an inch off, and it was a good back line held by the Knights to pressure him to go off, but just narrowly is called off, and the score remains 0-0 with just under 6 minutes remaining here in the first half. Mateo Morales chasing after it, but he's offside anyway. Gregorian plays it quick over to Bumgarner. Gregorian sends it out wide to 23 Bixler. Here's Mueller. Mueller looks out wide for the winger. And Kinzer sends it in, but Castellanos clears it out. And Marcos Ramirez wins possession back for the Knights right around the 20-yard line, but it ends up going out on Ramirez for a Spartans throw-in. Bixler does well to get around Ramirez and Morales. Here he's with the ball again. Mundell plays it back to Bixler, and Mundell gets it back there. But Amstein does well to win it back for the Knights. 3 minutes and 45 seconds remaining here in the first half. Varsity sends it up for Morales, but that is the second time in the last 2 minutes that Morales has been called offside. He's got to start being a little bit more disciplined in making his runs so the Knights can play him forward without being called back for a free kick. Here's Bumgarner who finds Ralston. Ralston takes on Castellanos and then Connor Murphy, but he ends up turning it over to Mateo Morales. And here's Elzing coming down the wing and plays it forward to Adam Shine, but once again, too much on it. And Morris takes care of it with ease. 2 minutes and 25 seconds remaining here in the half.
With the first half starting to wrap up, there's definitely been some key players throughout this game. For the Spartans, Logan Morris has made some great saves, not being afraid to come off his line in order to make a save when it needs to be done. On the other hand, on their offensive side, number 15, Joey Mueller has done a great job in being a playmaker for the Spartans. He's been all over the field, as Dom has said, and he is getting shots off and making good passes in order to be a threat to the Knights. On the Knights side, Corey Valeroy has had made saves, but he hasn't had to make too many because of number 10, senior Richie Taylor, has been all over the Spartans' offense. Like as Dom said before, once again, he has the height in order to make good head balls in order to clear out crosses and corners, and he's used that very wisely throughout this game. On the offensive side, Adam Shine seems to be a huge playmaker for the Knights. He's been all over the field, and people are trying to get the ball to him throughout the game, but they just have not connected. During the second half, it'll be very crucial to see who is connected, because that could be the deciding factor in this game.
Elzane looking for Morales, but Morales is returning from an offside position, and it's dealt easily back or in the back line for the Spartans. Just a minute remaining here in the first half. A highly debatable throw-in is given in favor of the Spartans, and Gregorian switches the field and finds Bryce Bixler on the far right wing, but Ethan Williams wins it well for the Knights, and Marcos Ramirez chases it, but still easily by Bixler. Ball played forward, but Richie Taylor deals with it nicely. Cameron Blyock wins the possession. Just 10 seconds remaining here in the half. Last second attack for the Spartans is cut out really well again by Thomas Bell. 4 seconds remaining, and they will not have enough time to get this thrown in. And we will go into halftime tied at 0. Both teams have had fair amount of chances, but overall it's been a pretty equal game, as Sam has said a couple times during the broadcast, and we'll see in the second half if the Knights or the Spartans can find that go-ahead goal to put them ahead here in this game. Once again, this is Dominic Osher with Sam Carey bringing you tonight's action on FHN Today. Thank you for joining us. Second half is underway here with a quick start for the Knights, but it's a big save there by the goalkeeper Morris for the Spartans, and a quick start there for the Knights. And we really didn't see much of that in the first half. They had that one opportunity with Adam Shine, but that was the only opportunity. Once again, thank you for joining us tonight here on a Tuesday night afternoon where the Francis Howell North Knights are taking on the Francis Howell Central Spartans here in a high school soccer matchup. Throwing awarded to the Knights, and Victor Castellanos throws it in to Adam Shine, who has a little bit of trouble working with it at first, but he deals with it nicely in the end and finds Joel Arena on the left wing, who plays it back to Shine right around the 50-yard line. Shine plays it to Joel. Arena finds Williams. Williams to Shine. Here's Connor Murphy coming in hot on the 30-yard line. He plays it out wide to Elzine. Elzine takes on the defender, number 12, Bryce Kinsler, but he deals with it nicely and knocks it out for a throw-in, or a corner, excuse me, for the Francis Howell North Knights. Senior Taylor Elzine to take. Low drive comes in, intended for number 14, Jesus Barcinas. Spartans try to get quick on the counter with number 10, Caleb Mundell. Ball played forward for Nicastro. Nicastro plays it back, and the Spartans are able to start their true first possession of the second half. Mundell tries to get Ralston, but in the end it just turns into a Knights possession. Here's Adam Shine playing into Barcinas right around midfield. Connor Murphy looks forward and finds Adam Shine on the through, and Shine just can't get past the goalkeeper, Morris, who's had a very solid game so far for the Spartans. Ball played forward to the Spartans forward. He tries to send it in and keeps it in bounds, but there's Corey Valeroy stopping the attack and the cross, and he regains possession for the Knights. Here's Ralston working with Ethan Williams, and he beats him on the right side. Cuts it back, goes back and forth, and ooh, nice moves by Ralston, but in the end, Richie Taylor has none of it. And here's Yusuf Lange. Tries to get past Bumgardner, but takes the deflection off the Spartans defender, and it's a Knights throw-in to be taken by what looks like Joel Arena. Ralston wins it against Arena. Arena wins it back for the Knights, but then Adam Shine loses possession to number 6, Nick Castro. And here's Nick Castro around the 45. Playing it to number 22, Blayock. Ralston takes possession around the 10, looking for options in the middle, sends the ball in, and it finds the feet of number 10. That is Caleb Mundell, and he finds the back of the net with this forceful effort, and it puts the Spartans up 1-0 here with 34 minutes remaining in the first half. It looks like the Knights just lost their man in the middle. One of the first mistakes of the night in the back line by Bell and Taylor, and they lost their man, and Mundell was able to take the space, take the advantage, and blast it into top left corner. No chance for Corey Valeroy, and it makes it 1-0 in favor of the visiting Spartans. We'll see what kind of effect this has on the Knights and see if they try to get a little bit more aggressive, maybe start pushing men forward like their wingers and Ethan Williams and Victor Castellanos, or do they still stay a little bit conservative and try to limit the damage that the Spartans are pressing. Ball play forward for Mundell, but Taylor has none of it, plays it over to Thomas Bell. Bell sends it forward looking for either Yusuf Langi or Adam Shine, but in the end it really is only the possession of number 15, Julie Mueller. Big save by Valeroy on the line to keep it out for a Spartans throw-in. 33 and 30 seconds remaining here in the second half. Looks like that is Ralston getting ready to take the corner for the Spartans, but it'll be forced to go to the complete opposite side of the field. Ralston completes his long journey back to the other side of the field, and here he is with the ball now, playing it to Nick Castro, but Nick Castro is just offside, and it ruins the corner attack for the Spartans. We'll see if they try to go quick, and they do. That is Richie Taylor trying to find Barcinas, but that is Ralston, who's had a really solid game on the right wing here, controlling possession for the Spartans. Bumgarner dealing with Yusuf Langi, but just throws him away. Here's 15, Julie Mueller, switching the field to Gregorian. Castro finds Mueller. Mueller does well to get around Shine. Mueller keeps going, finds the winger. Ball comes in, looking for Ralston. A bit of a mess in the back there, but that is Corey Valeroy sorting out the pile, and he plays it out wide to Richie Taylor. 32 minutes remaining, and the Knights trail by 1. Barcenas might have been fouled, but he gets back on his feet, plays it to Shine, did well there to keep possession and not be phased by going to the ground.
Once that goal happened, the tempo seems to be picking up for both the Spartans and the Knights. The Knights seem to realize that they have 30 minutes now left in order to attain pressure and get another goal. And here's a foul, going for a free kick, going for the Knights right at the end line. They'll likely treat this like a corner kick, so this is a crucial opportunity for the Knights to try to get that one goal back.
Well, the ref pointed in the direction of a Knights free kick, but in the end he must have pointed the wrong direction, and it's just going to be a Spartans free kick in the end. Oh. In the end, it was actually offsides on the Knight forward, and that is why the Spartans are getting possession around the 15-yard line. Shine beats a couple defenders, looking for options in the middle. Lange lurking and takes all the way out wide, trying to get more attackers in. But in the end, the Spartans did well, win possession. Now they have a counter option here. led by Nicastro. And Richie Taylor slides in and knocks it out, again clearing the trouble. 30 minutes remaining here in the game. Here's Shine all by himself up forward, finds Barcinas. Barcinas takes it around the 25 and gets back to Shine with Murphy right to his right. And he finds him. Murphy plays it out wide and finds Elzine. Elzine mistouches it, and the Spartans win possession there. And plays it back to Gregorian, who beats Lange and starts another long possession for the Spartans. Foul called there against the right back for the Knights, Victor Castellanos, with 29 minutes remaining. Gregorian to take the free kick.
Once the goal happened about 5 minutes ago, the Spartans seem to be settling into a possessive mode. This could be tactical for them because it does waste time on the clock, but it also could hurt them because if they settle in too much possession, an eager Knights offense could counter that and easily get a goal in. This game can play out in many different ways since it's only 1-0 and that's a dangerous score. We'll see what happens.
With just under 28 minutes remaining here in the game, Spartans make a change. Sam, so with the Knights trailing by 1 goal, they might want to start changing their attack. How do you think they should do that or approach that situation?
With 7-ish minutes left in the game and the Knights trailing by 1, I feel like the best call could be to switch into a formation of a 3-5-2 instead of a 4-4-2. Though you do lose one defender, in this case it doesn't matter because you're down a goal. Using a 3-5-2 would be able to push up a lot more offenders and keep the Knights' capability in order to get this game going and leading in their direction.
Valeroy takes the free kick quickly and plays it to Arena, and now it's Richie Taylor with all the space in the world, looking for Yusuf Lange up front. Lange finds Arena. Arena looking for Shine, but plays a little bit behind him, and it leads to a possession for the Spartans, led by number 15, Julian Mueller. That's Bumgarner getting past both Connor Murphy and Adam Shine, finding the ball down to Ralston right around the goal line. Ralston against Ethan Williams. Williams did well to read the cross, and he knocked it out for a Spartans throw-in. The corner comes in, and a big save there by Corey Valeroy on the corner. Somehow he keeps it out. The fence might have broken up there, but Valeroy takes care of it easily. Or I wouldn't say easily, but he finishes the job. And now here comes the counter for the Knights, led by Yusuf Lange. Foul called there against the Spartans defender. Lange did a good job there in winning the free kick. First substitution of the second half coming on for the Knights as Lange comes off at the forward position for Morales. Just 25 minutes remaining here in the game.
Now, Dom, you've been announcing the play-by-play all throughout the night. How do you feel like the game has changed versus the start of the game to now with just under 25 minutes left?
Well, Sam, in the very beginning, it was a little bit more conservative and passive, and it was mainly about possession, especially on the Spartans, and they were not going for the long ball, and they were just playing around the midfield and looking for that seam to open. But now as the game's opened up and the entire legs have been on for both sides, both teams have been starting to get a little bit more aggressive, attacking a little bit more, going for a little bit more through balls, and starting to really get the ball into the final third on both sides of the field. And if both teams can continue this aggressive pace, the score will most likely end up a little bit different than 1-0. Ball comes in, but Valeroy takes care of it easily and recollects it for the Knights.
If Valeroy can keep demonstrating punts like that throughout the night, the Knights better use it to their advantage. That punt went to the 30-yard line on the other side of the field. The Knights need to be able to get up there with that ball in order to maintain possession and quickly change the fields and change the point of attack. If they can do this, the score could change in this game.
Ralston tries to take it in, but he ended up in a triangle of Knights. But in the end, the Knights couldn't find anyone to give it to, and the Spartans gained possession. Gregorian plays out wide to Bumgardner. Bumgardner looking for Mueller, but he couldn't find him. Adam Shine trying to go forward, gets it taken away, and the Spartans take the possession away from the Knights. Ball sent up, but Richie Taylor deals with it easily. Here's Shine trying to take it out wide. And that will just go out of bounds. Shine had the speed and the pace over the defender, but in the end, just put a little bit too much on it and wasn't able to fully beat the last defender. 22 minutes remaining here in the second half.
Throughout this game, both teams have been starting to get chippier and chippier. That tends to happen as fatigue sets in, but it could be dangerous, not only for a player's health, but a dumb free kick or a dumb PK could easily lead to a change of score in this game. The score is currently 1-0 with Spartans leading, and we can see if either team can make a change in the score, either to make it more settling for the Spartans or for the Knights to come back in this game.
Speaking of changes, the Spartans make a substitution with Nicastro coming out for number 2, Alec Johnson. The ball comes in, and it just gets past the forward, and Ralston chasing wins a throw-in for the Spartans. Arena does well, win it over Hubbard and Ralston, and he's taking him on and wins the free kick with Ralston being all over him. See if they can capitalize on his free kick and try to get a long possession going and change the tide of this game, as we have 20 minutes and 30 seconds remaining here in the second half of tonight's high school soccer game between the Francis Howell North Knights and the Francis Howell Central Spartans. Block taken down, but no call, says the ref. And here's Elzine leading the counter for the Knights. Morales looking for it up front, but it looks like Elzine didn't have enough room to get the ball up to him, and Bumgarner continues his really strong performance out there at the left back position and finds the winger for the Spartans. Plays it back to Bumgarner. Bumgarner tries to go for the goal of the night, but it goes just over the bar, and Valeroy is just able to watch it go over and take it for a goal kick.
Now, the Francis Howell North and Francis Howell Central rivalry is definitely something that goes on through all sports. But I know, speaking from personal experience, for soccer, it's a huge one. Though Francis Howell North currently has a larger winning record with being 4-1-1 on the season, the Francis Howell Central Spartans are 3-2, and their 2 losses were to no shabby teams. They were to Francis Howell High, who has rumors about going back to state, and they also did De Smet Jesuit School, which is a very strong soccer school in the area. They've definitely challenged themselves through this pre-conference season, and let's see if North can do anything about the score in order to get them one more higher on the winning chart.
Here's Morales. Morales plays it out wide to Elzine. Elzine tries to chest it down, but is cut loose by the defender for the Spartans. Comes back in, and here's Elzine again. Elzine finds Murphy. Murphy takes a long shot, but that is calmly collected by Morris. 18 minutes and 30 seconds remaining here, and the Knights are still looking for their first goal and try to draw it even with the Spartans. Ball played through for Kinsler. Here's Black with it now, but it just goes over the goal line, and it's a goal kick for Corey Valeroy. 18 minutes remaining now. With 17 minutes and 45 seconds remaining here in the game, Taylor Elzine's coming out after some hard work on the right wing, and Marcos Ramirez comes back in for the Francis Howell North Knights.
With 18 minutes left in the game, it has definitely been a competitive battle throughout the entire match. The Francis Howell North Knights still have some subs that have not touched the field, and I wonder if going through the rest of the game, they will use them in order to relieve some tired legs. There definitely seems to be a sluggish manner going out throughout both teams, but that is easily said with the fact that they have played a lot of minutes so far and that there are only 17 left. I'm sure the Knights will learn how to dig deep, and here comes... I don't know who that is.
That was Morales, who tried to get past Gregorian, but once again, the back line of Gregorian and Bumgarner, among others, is just being able to cut out almost every single attack for the Knights tonight. Here's Ralston working on Arena. Ralston is forced to play it out wide to Gregorian. Gregorian then finds number 12, Bryce Kinsler. Adam Shine did well to win possession for the Knights and plays out wide Arena. Barcenas getting tugged and pulled, and he wins the free kick for the Knights after a couple protests on the sideline. 15 minutes and 50 seconds remaining here in the game.
The reason I'm assuming that foul was not immediately called is because the ref was giving number 14 some time to gain advantage of the play. He was watching to see if he could break through and get past the Spartans line. Now Richie Taylor is going to take this free kick and hopes to get someone on the end of it to tie up the score. The free kick goes a little bit wide, but the Knights are going to rebound to try to get the ball back towards goal.
That is Marcos Ramirez, who gets taken to the ground. It's a penalty for the Knights. Ref calls it, and Marcos Ramirez did extremely well to get past the defenders, and the last defender had no choice but to bring Marcos down, and Ramirez did extremely well in using his pace and his size to get past him. And it looks like it'll be senior Richie Taylor to take the penalty. 15 minutes remaining. This goal could bring the game level. Crowd's anxious as well as the bench. Off the crossbar and in, Richie Taylor finds the back of the net for the Knights and brings this game level to tie it at 1.
That penalty kick must have been hard for goalie Logan Morris, as it's been his first season in goal and possibly one of his first penalty kicks. The penalty kick by Taylor was well placed, a little risky with the height of the kick, but it worked out well for him as it hit the crossbar and bounced in, and there was nothing Logan Morris, goalkeeper, could do about it.
That is Taylor's first goal of the new season, as he's been playing that back role. And you don't really get that many goal opportunities, but he's the Francis Howell North Knights stone cold penalty taker, and he makes no mistake here and brings the game level at 1 with 15 minutes remaining. Huge goal for the Knights.
As the Knights seem to huddle on the side of the field to get some water and regain themselves, the referee is dealing with some controversy coming from the central side of the field. It seems like some coaches and some players seem to be giving the ref some grief about the call and trying to change the opinion. Yet the goal is already scored, so nothing can be done about it. So now it is just under 15 minutes left, and the score is 1-1 with Knights and Spartans tied. The interesting thing is now that there's 15 minutes, though legs are tired, both teams are going to be rallying very hard to get that final goal to put them over the edge. If they don't get the goal, the game will go into overtime, and if needed, double overtime and then penalty kicks. When the game is in overtime, it's sudden death. So as soon as a goal is scored, the game is over. So it's next goal wins if the game goes into overtime. But there is still under 15 minutes left in the game for them to battle it out.
The winger for the Spartans tried to play it in, but that is dealt with well by Bell, and takes a deflection off the Spartans winger, and it's a goal kick for Corey Valeroy in the Francis Howell North Knights. 14 minutes now remaining. Morales finds Barcinas, and here is Arena. Arena waiting for options to come up, and that is Morales. Morales nutmegs the defender, but it is cleared in the end by number 21 for the Spartans, Bobby Hubbard. Looks like the Knights are starting to get a little bit more momentum, starting to get a little bit more confident in their attack, and starting to put pressure on that back line of the Spartans that really has had a solid day. Oh, and Morales almost breaks the ball loose from the goalkeeper, Morris, but in the end, Morris is able to regain it, and with 13 minutes remaining now, the Spartans can start another possession.
Anxiety over the game seems to be running all across the stadium right now. There's a large student section for Francis Howell North, but also for Francis Howell Central, who are starting to get very active inside this game. Also, you can see players getting a little bit more aggressive, which could be dangerous, as in the reason for that last goal was a PK in the box caused by a foul. Also, coaches start yelling, so therefore, if a yellow card is drawn, that coach either has to sit down for the rest of the game, or if it gets far enough, a red card, and he isn't allowed to be back for this game or their next game played. I'm sure the tensions won't go that far, but it is a possibility considering the rivalry of this game and the final result of it.
Here's Bell leading the counter, and That is Morales trying to win it back for the Knights, but here's Barcenas. Barcenas plays out wide to Arena. And Arena waits for some options to get in the middle of the field. Arena sends it in and gets past the defender, but in the end cleared out to Ethan Williams. Williams tried to get Arena on the ball, but Spartans get the ball. And here is Richie Taylor again, who looked like he won the ball cleanly, but the goalkeeper, the ref, calls a foul on Taylor nonetheless. Just under 12 minutes remaining now in the game.
In hindsight, that foul caused by Richie was not a terrible decision. Because he was up so high in the back line, if the Spartans would have won the ball, it could have been an easy counter with a lot of space and only Valeroy back there to stop it. The foul that would happen at 60 yards away from their goal is not dangerous because they can't score off of that opportunity, most likely. Therefore, Richie fouling is not a big deal in that situation. It actually could have saved the Knights some defensive stress.
Morales plays a nice little ball to Adam Shine. Shine finds Castellanos. Bit of a miscommunication there, and Bumgarner takes possession for the Spartans. Arena did well to win it for the Knights, and here's a 2-on-2 opportunity here with Morales and Shine. Morales plays a good ball through for Shine, but he's just offside. It looked like he was on, but in the end, it looks like he wasn't offside. The ref on the far side held his flag up, but must have changed his ruling. And in the end, the Knights almost got an opportunity there with Adam Shine, but it goes out in favor of the Spartans.
So what happened on that play was Adam Shine was on a run, and though the outside referee called the offsides, the center referee has overruled, and he saw that there was something on the field which caused him to wave the flag down. The referee did a great decision in this call by making his wave down obvious, which is that he didn't just miss the call. Though there is controversy going on right now, it's going to be natural in that situation. Keeper Logan Morris did a phenomenal job defending Adam Shine's 1v1 opportunity as the ball got cleared out and then missed wide. I'm sure a lot of it had to do with the confusion of whether Shine was offsides or not.
Ralston cuts it back in. There's Blyock. Blyock looking for an option, plays it through for Ralston, but it's cut out nicely there by Joel Arena. Arena looking for Morales, but it doesn't get past the back line of the Spartans. Muller plays out wide to number 12, Kinsler. Kinsler sends the ball in, but Richie Taylor heads it away, and Castellanos is able to clear it and stop the pressure for this moment. Foul called against the Knights there with 8 minutes and 40 seconds remaining. Spartans are going to wait to take this free kick and get some players in the middle of the box and try to get ahead on this and try to get the lead.
With the Spartans about to take this kick, it's very crucial that Richie Taylor is inside this box. We know his head is one of the strongest abilities about him, and his towering height, it definitely excels the Knights over the Spartans in this situation. Though this is a dangerous opportunity for the Knights still have 30, 40 yards in order to clear this ball, and the kick is taken.
Valeroy mishandled it for a second, but he deals with it nicely in the end. And here's Morales challenging the Spartans defender. One here, but it looks like the last defender for the Knights might have been Marcos Ramirez, and he did well under pressure to get the ball out, and it'll be a corner for the Spartans with 7 minutes and 30 seconds remaining. Alec Johnson coming back in for the Spartans as Joel Arena exits for the Knights, and Taylor Elsing takes his place. That is Ralston to take the corner for the Spartans here with 7 minutes remaining. Ball comes in, but it went out of bounds after the header, and it is a goal kick for Corey Valeroy.
The Knights caught a lucky break there, considering that ball got headed right back into the middle, and with Corey out of position, the Spartans had a wide open net to score. Luckily, the ball was called out of bounds after it bent wide, and then someone kicked it back inside.
Here's Block. Block plays it to number 21, which is Bobby Hubbard. Gregorian plays it out wide to Baumgartner. Spartans starting to get a long possession going, but, well, it looked like it was about to be cut out by Connor Murphy, but Baumgartner continues his run all the way across the field and still looking for options, and in the end he finds Blyock. Blyock was looking for Mueller, but in the end it goes all the way to Ralston. Ralston sends the ball in, but that is Victor Castellanos not getting it loose. And Morales almost wins it for the Knights, but Baumgartner does well again to contain possession for the Spartans. Here's Mueller. Mueller and Ramirez going at it around the 10-yard line, but in the end it looks like Ramirez was pulled down by Mueller, and the free kick is awarded to the Knights. 5 minutes and 30 seconds remain. Any goal from here on out will either be heartbreaking or one of the goals of the season for either team. 5 minutes, 30 seconds remaining. The score remains 1-1. Free kick to be taken around the 50-yard line for Richie Taylor. He's got one of the strongest legs on the team, and he'll be taking it all the way from the 50, trying to get into the box and finding a attacker for the Knights. It comes in, and almost getting a head on it was Adam Shine, but Connor Murphy ends up with it. Here's Elsing. Elsing does well to win it. Elsing beats the defender, one-on-one with the keeper, but that is Morris again coming up huge in the late moments of this game and stopping Elsing. The counter was almost occurrent for the Spartans with Nick Castro, but gets stopped by Richie Taylor and cleared, and a throw-in coming for the Spartans. Just 4 minutes remaining now here in the second half.
That goal for Elsing would have been his second game winner so far this season, and if maybe he could have gotten his left foot around it, it would have made a different impact. Luckily, or not luckily, but Logan Morris came out strong and knew exactly where Elsing was going to try to place the ball, and he made a good save. With now about 3 minutes left in the game, it's going to be interesting on how this game heats up. Just saying, if the game is still tied after this 3 minutes, overtime will happen, and that's a sudden death overtime, meaning that if one goal is scored, the game is over, depending for whoever that for will win the game. After two overtime periods of 10 minutes each, the game will go into PKs to determine the winner.
Ball goes out for a Spartans throw-in now with 3 minutes and 15 seconds remaining here in the second half. Here's Bixler. Bixler looking for options. Almost plays it long for Ralston, but in the end plays it safe back to Gregorian with Morales chasing. Here's number 15, Mueller. Mueller finds Ralston and then to Baumgartner. Baumgartner continues his great night for the Spartans and finds number 6, Nicastro, but it's cut out by the Knights defense. Here's Morales, and Morales finds Shine. Shine beats Gregorian, beats the second defender, but couldn't beat the last defender, which was number 21, Bobby Hubbard. 2 minutes and 30 seconds remaining. Score remains 1-1. Here's Nicastro. Nicastro beats Elzine. Ball played through there for number 2 for the Spartans. Alec Johnson. Ball comes in looking for Ralston, but is dealt with nicely there by Marcos Ramirez. Spartans remain on the pressure right outside the box. Ball comes back in. All by lonesome is Alec Johnson, but is cleared and almost goes out, but it looks like Elzine will keep it in for the Knights. Elzine gets past Johnson, but couldn't get past the last man there, which was number 22, Blyock. Booming cross comes in there from number 21, and on the edge of the box, 2 men go down, but it looks like it was a no contact situation, and it'll be a corner kick for the Francis Howell Central Spartans.
With just under a minute left in this game, this corner kick could be a crucial decider in the game. If the Spartans get it in, the Knights have hardly a chance to get this goal back. If the Knights save it, however, it looks like this game will be going into overtime. And the kick is off. And a header goes over the game. 45 seconds left in this game.
That might have been the last key moment of the regulation time for the Spartans. With all their options in the middle, it looks like the Knights can
And overtime is underway. There's a 10-minute overtime in the first overtime, and it's a sudden death. And then for the second overtime, it'll be another 10 minutes in hopes for either the Spartans or the Knights to take the lead.
Mueller finds Alec Johnson. Alec Johnson sends it in, but Richie Taylor clears it. Nicastro takes the long shot, but it's blocked. Here's Nicastro again working on Elzine. Nicastro goes for the long effort, but it's a good save there by Corey Valeroy. But it looks like it'll be a foul call against the Knights, and it'll be a free kick right around the 25-yard line. Here with 8 minutes and 30 seconds remaining here in the first overtime period.
Both the Knights and the Spartans have been fighting very hard throughout this entire game, and I foresee more chippy fouls like that happening. These could be crucial to the game, though, because a free kick is something that can easily be scored on. So the tough defense and good head balls of Thomas Bell and Richie Taylor are going to be crucial, but also Corey Valeroy being on his toes and being fearless and coming out of his line.
Ralston's free kick comes in, but it's a big save there by Corey Valeroy. It wasn't the biggest trouble doing, but he sends it forward looking for Gresso. And Gresso tries to chase it down, but Morris takes care of it in the end. 7 minutes and 45 seconds remaining here in the first period of overtime. Here's Kinzer against Elzing. Kinzer finds Mueller right around the middle of the field. Mueller was looking for Ralston to make the run, but in the end he wasn't able to, and that is cut out by the Knights winger. Taylor sends it up, and that is Adam Shine. Adam Shine tried to get around two defenders with trickery, but in the end it's cut back, and that is the goalkeeper pointing out wide to number 12 for the Spartans, Bryce Kinzer. Kinzer plays it to Gregorian. Gresso chasing, back to Kinzer. No one really pressuring Kinzer, which gives him the opportunity to play a through ball like that to Ralston. Ralston fakes the shot, sends it in, but that is Corey Valeroy picking up the rolling ball. And with 6 minutes remaining, he'll wait for his players to get up the field. Here's Richie Taylor.
There could be multiple strategies going on for the Howell North Knights right now. They could be trying to take their chances and take some offensive pressure, but the Francis Howell Central Spartans have been able to have a very strong defense throughout this entire game and control the Francis Howell North Knights offense. Another strategy could be to play heavy defense and look to go into the PKs, the penalty kicks, that will end this game if overtime doesn't work. Either way, the North Knights will have to be very strong in both offense and defense to be able to make those occur, because if they're too weak on defense, a simple slip could end this game for them.
Here's Mundell working on Richie Taylor. The ball comes in, and there's a save there by Corey Valeroy. The cross is coming in, what looked like for Ralston, but Valeroy cuts it out and stops what could have been a big attack there for the Spartans. 5 minutes remaining now. And the ball goes over the top, and it's really well dealt with there by Bumgardner. Almost got past him to the chasing Joel Arena. Here's Nicastro. Nicastro finds Mueller. Mueller has Kinsler all by himself on the wing. Kinsler with it now. Kinsler looking for number 22, Blyok, but he can't find him. Here's Jake Gressel. Gressel chasing after it, but that's Baumgartner keeping him on his edge and making him wait for his other options to come. Long shot taken there by the Knights midfielder, Jesus Barcinas, but it goes wide and doesn't really trouble the goalkeeper in the end. With 4 minutes and 20 seconds remaining, the Spartans will have a goal kick.
Coach Larry Scheller has been off his feet a little bit in this overtime, probably feeling a little anxious due to the fact. Another thing I want to point out is around school, Corey Valeroy is known as Big Save Valeroy. It's a big nickname that he tends to go by. But his reputation seems to precede him throughout this overtime. Through the last 7 minutes or so, he has been on top of his game and has been forced to make some crucial saves in this game, and he has definitely followed through with his nickname.
Here's Gregorian with 3 minutes and 20 seconds remaining. He plays it out to Kinzer. Kinzer finds Johnson with Castellanos on him, but Elzing is nice to win possession back for the Knights. Cuts back and gives it to Castellanos, who finds Shine, who then ends up with Elzing. But Elzing turns it over. Here comes Mueller. Mueller tried to get past the last defender, but it loses his grasp, and that is well dealt with by Thomas Bell. Here's Barcinas.
With just under 3 minutes left, the Francis Howell North Knights have been showing some impeccable technique throughout this. As seen by Taylor Elzen and Connor Murphy in the middle, they've had some great moves to try to outskill the Francis Howell Central defenders. Normally in a game, when you still have impeccable technique, that means that your mind is still in the game. It means that you're still ready to go and you're on your toes wanting to win. This shows me that the Knights are all in and they win this game no matter what.
Barcenas plays it through looking for Murphy, but that is Morris who continues his strong performance here tonight and cuts it out. 2 minutes and 10 seconds remaining here as Gregorian takes possession right around the 20-yard line. Castellanos finds Corey Valeroy in the back, and Valeroy takes care of it and plays it to the 50. He was not offside as it took a deflection off the Knights midfielder Elzine. Here comes Blyok. Blyok has a cutout, and that is huge clearance saved by Thomas Bell. Jake Gressel chasing Gregorian, but Gregorian does well to play it back to the goalkeeper. Gressel continues his chase, but Morris plays it back to Gregorian. 1 minute and 20 seconds remaining here in the first period of overtime.
With the Spartans currently having possession of the ball for the next minute, it's crucial for the Knights just to keep them out of their goal. They can regroup at the period in between overtimes, but right now the Knights need to just keep the Spartans out from scoring. It is now exactly 1 minute left in this overtime, and it is crucial that these Spartans do not get a shot on goal.
Ralston tried to get the ball in, but it ends up going over the goal line, and it'll be a goal kick for Corey Valeroy. 45 seconds remaining here in the first period.
Valeroy is taking his time with this goal kick, which is a smart play for the Knights. They now have 30 seconds left in this, but they will have a quick break in between the next 10. Could be very strong defense in order just to force them into PKs, knowing that Logan Morris is his first year in a goalie, and this could be his first PK situation, whereas Corey Valeroy has been playing goalie for a while, and he's had an amazing promotion to 5 kickers, and then they're set goalies, and that will decide who will win this game. The most goals scored in those 5 will win the game. This 10-minute, if there is still no goal, it is very likely to see some quick substitutions and putting their best shooters on the field.
junior Jake Gresso gets us underway for the second half of this overtime period.
From the early moments of this overtime period, it seems that North has kicked up their high pressure in ordering to force Francis Howell Central to make a decision. This is imperative for the Knights in order to get a shot on goal and hopefully turn over the ball and have them take control of the game. Right now, it seems like in this overtime period, especially in the last 10 minutes, Central outpossessed the Knights, but the Knights rallied back with having a strong defensive line. They can either decide to hold this, Jake Gresso on the run, but it's cleared by Logan Morris, and it's a 50-50 ball in the air, with Joel Arena running to it, but Francis Howell Central Spartans getting control of the ball.
Mueller finds Ralston. Ralston working on Ethan Williams here on the right wing. Ralston gets past Williams, but again, Richie Taylor is a brick wall in the back, and you just can't get by him with just under 9 minutes remaining. The Spartans have a throw in. Mueller sends the ball in for the Spartans forward to Castro, but that is a huge play there by Corey Valeroy to cut out the ball, and it was a really good find there by Mueller, and Castro made a good run getting past the defense, and it looked like either Bell or Taylor just lost their man, but in the end Valeroy cuts it clear, and it is now just 8 minutes remaining here in the half. Ralston cuts it back and forth on Arena, and he plays it in just out of the grasp of Spartans player number 10, Caleb Mundell. Here's Mundell again with it right around the 10, but it looks like Elzing is just going to be able to outmuscle the last defender, but they both go down, but no fouls called. And it looks like the Spartans almost had an opportunity to take a shot on goal, but it is cleared by junior Connor Murphy with 7 minutes and 30 seconds remaining here in the second period of overtime.
The Spartans are now attacking the Knights on goal. It seems as if the Knights have changed up their formation. Instead of their classic 4-4-2, they've changed into a 5-4-1. This can add pros and cons to the Knights' defense. Though it does add more defenders, allowing the Knights to have a heavier defense line, which is hard for the Spartans to penetrate, it can make the Francis Howell North Knights a little bit more confused on the field. They're used to a 4-4-2, so switching formations can cause for people getting out of position and causing gaps that the Central Spartans can easily expose. There's been great players on the Spartans like Mueller who've been able to expose them so far in this 10-minute segment, and we'll continue to see if they can if the Knights can keep battling back and figure out this formation that they have switched to.
Foul call against the Spartans, and it'll be a free kick for the Knights with 6 minutes and 30 seconds remaining here in the half. Bell launches it forward to the head of Adam Shine, and here is Barcenas, but Barcenas loses it, and here comes an attack for the Spartans, or what would have been an attack, but it looks like Blyock just mistimed the pass and played it out of bounds. Coming back on for the Knights is number 18, Marcos Ramirez, replacing Joel Arena. 5 minutes and 50 seconds remaining in the game, in overtime.
The Knights and the Spartans keep battling between the midfield line, and the ball hasn't left the midfield too often. With now 5 minutes and 30 seconds left in the half, this is a crucial time for either team to score. But it doesn't seem like either back line is letting down. What this means is that it's going to be imperative to not give up corner kicks and free kicks, because those can really decide a game in this decision. All legs are fatigued, but everyone has the heart and the hunger to win this game physically. But in a free kick or a corner kick situation, luck happens and a bad bounce can cause this game to end.
Here's Muller, tries to send it through, but Thomas Bell heads it away. Muller tries to regain possession there, but it ends up back in their possession and goes just wide of the waiting Corey Valeroy. And with 4 minutes and 40 seconds remaining here, looks like the Knights will be making yet another substitution as number 7 senior Yusuf Langi awaits to come on.
The defense for the current Francis Howell North had a risky play there, as they did foul the Francis Howell Central Spartan, who got the shot on goal. Yet the referee called advantage, which means that though the Spartans did get fouled, they still had full possession of the play, which allowed them to get the shot off. Since the ball went wide, the referee could not call back the foul. The Knights caught a lucky break that he called advantage and did not call back that free kick, because it was right on top of the 18. It would have caused some problems for the Knights defense and Corey Valeroy.
With 3 minutes and 45 seconds here remaining in the second period of overtime, Bumgarner tries to play it across, but Yusuf Langi almost got on the end of it, but Bumgarner regains possession. Here he is again. Gets past Barcinas, but it gets cleared all the way to the back line. But it looks like there's a foul call against the Spartans as Richie Taylor was brought down right around the 30-yard line. And it'll be a free kick for the Knights. Looks like Taylor was a little bit shaken up by the foul.
The Francis Howell Central Spartan went into a very hard tackle with Richie Taylor, causing a yellow card to happen. In high school rules, when you get a yellow card, you are required to come off the field, yet you can come in as soon as possible. With number 14 being the Francis Howell Central captain, I wonder how quickly he'll come back in. Some coaches would choose to punish him for getting the yellow card and going into a dangerous tackle like that, almost hurting Richie Taylor. But he could go right back in because he's a senior and he is a captain, and he could be a solid PK taker. There is now 3 minutes and 30 seconds left in this half, and though Richie Taylor seems to be a little bit shaken up and walking some pain off, he's still staying in this game and fighting for the last couple minutes.
Foul call against the Knights, as looked like Mundell had the ball deflect over his hand, but that was after the foul. Here's Muller with possession around the 50, and Lange was just about to win it there, but Muller beats him. Here's Nicastro. Nicastro plays it across and finds Muller. Muller has a little bit of trouble controlling the ball. Here's Elsie leading the counter. But again, there's Muller and Elzine going back and forth, and Muller is able to win possession again for the Spartans. 2 minutes and 30 seconds remaining here as they play out wide to Bumgarner. Or, excuse me, that is actually Alec Johnson, not Bumgarner. Gregorian sends it in for Blyock, but that is a big play there by Corey Valeroy to cut out the attack again. 2 minutes and 15 seconds remaining as he sends it up, looking for the head of Yusuf Langi.
One key player for the Knights has been Corey Valeroy. His punts from goal have been flawless, meaning they've gone over 60 yards in this field, and the Knights have not really been able to capitalize off this opportunity. But one thing about Valeroy as a goalkeeper is he's kind of fearless. When the ball comes in the box, he's not afraid to challenge to come off his line. Though most goalies would be hesitant when coming off the line, especially in big situations like double overtime like he's currently in, he's still flying off his line and coming up with good saves that have kept this team in the game. Without his fearlessness and coming off the line, this game could be in a whole different story.
Junior Jake Gressel coming in for Yusuf Langi at the striker position here with 1 minute and 20 seconds remaining in the second period of overtime. Here's Marcos Ramirez with it now. He finds Adam Shine, but Adam Shine mishandles it there, and it is handled by Baumgartner. Just 1 minute now here in the period. Black with it now, but that is a good challenge there by number 21, Victor Castellanos. 50 seconds remaining as the Spartans have it thrown.
So as it looks like this game more and more will be turned out by PKs. PKs will be taken from 12 yards out from the goal, where it's just a kicker and the goalie. If the ball crosses the line at any time, that means it is a goal and it'll count for the other team. They've added new rules for PKs lately in high school season, this year being allowed to stutter step. If anyone could recall last year's quarterfinal against Eureka, previous senior Torian Robinson got called on a yellow card for PK because he stuttered stepped and caused the kick not to count. Well, that is now legal in high school soccer, so I wonder if some of these players will take that into consideration when trying to go into these PKs. Now just 10 seconds into the game, and it looks like this game is going into PKs, so it'll be interesting to see what happens come the next and what the result of the game will be.
And that is exactly that. We are going to PKs, knotted at 1. Francis Howell Central and the Francis Howell North Knights haven't been able to find that last-minute goal that they've been searching for the last 30 minutes, and we are going to PKs.
Now we have the Knights and the Spartans locked at a score of 1, so it's come down to penalty kicks. If you look at the statistics, the Francis Howell North Knights have the advantage in these penalty kicks because of the goalie situation. Corey Valeroy has been playing goalie for quite a while now and has become up very big in this game. He has made some great saves all throughout overtime and throughout the game, and has really been a key player for the Francis Howell North Knights. On the other hand, Logan Morris, who has had a phenomenal game, making some huge saves for the Spartans, has never played goalie before this year. Because of this fact, the Knights may have the edge with Corey being ready to take this shot. The Francis Howell Central Spartans line up their first kick as kicker number 22 is lining up the shot. Corey Valeroy in goal, trying to defend this kick. The whistle's blown. And Corey with a big save makes the save for the Francis Howell Knights, and they are starting up with a +1 goal. Now, Francis Howell North kicker, number 19, Thomas Bell, will line up for the first shot against Logan Morris. Thomas Bell has had a great game so far, keeping the back line in touch for the Francis Howell North Knights, and this PK is crucial for the rest of this game. If they can score off this PK, it can put them ahead against the Spartans. And the shot, and Logan Morris with a big save. That's extremely impressive for it probably being one of his first PK scenarios. So now both the Central and both the Spartans and the Knights are locked at 0-0 in the PK as the next kicker approaches. Joey Muller now lining up for the kick. He has had an impressive game playing in that midfield position and being a playmaker for the Spartans. Corey Valeroy getting ready for the kick, and the whistle's blown. The shot, and it's a good PK. That PK is hard to save for Valeroy. It's upper 90 into an opposite corner. There's not much Valeroy can do about that shot, especially with the ball being only 12 yards away from the goal. Senior Taylor Elzine is now walking up to approach the ball. The Knights need to score on this PK in order to tie up the game. If not, going down can really hurt them in this penalty kick shootout. Elzine taking his time, which is quite understandable, probably feeling a lot of nerves in this situation. Logan Morris seeming pumped and trying to intimidate Elzine with his moves. Elzine takes the kick and misses. Logan Morris very pumped up after that save. Elzine's probably feeling the regret in that. There's some controversy in between the referees right now. The goalie encroached. So encroaching the line means that the goalie came above the goal line before the whistle was blown and before the kick was shot. This means that Taylor Elzine gets another chance to retake this kick. This could be crucial for the Knights because now Elzine gets another shot on goal and they can tie it again at 1. The referee was right on top of that call right there. Logan Morris seems very heated about that call, and Elzine is ready to take the kick. The whistle's blown. And it's good. Taylor Elzine makes the kick on the second try. This means the Spartans and the Knights are now locked at 1 once again. The next kicker going up to take the kick is number 14. Number 14 is Ralston. Ralston's a captain on this team and has played a very good game as well. He's been fighting all along the wings in order to make something happen for the Spartans. He also has a yellow card in this game, so if something were to happen on this kick where he gets a yellow, that could be bad for him. He takes the kick and he makes it. Once again, going that opposite corner of Valeroy. Valeroy looking very upset about this, but in PKs, it's very hard for a goalie to judge. Going up for the next PK is junior Jake Gresso. Jake Gresso, this is his first year on varsity, but has been a big key player for JV throughout the past years. He's also been moved up to varsity last year when the Norths took on state last year. He's lining up for the free kick against Morris, who's ready to go, and the whistle's blown. And Jake Gresso puts it in the goal. Once again, the Spartans and the Knights are locked at 2. This seems to be a big thing. They keep tying each other up. It's a matter of who will get one ahead. So one miss or one save can make the difference in this game. Walking up for the next kick is Francis Howell Central Spartan Caleb Mundell. He has played a good game in center back and has limited the Knights' opportunities on offense. A center back taking a PK could be risky because they don't get many shooting opportunities, but they also tend to have composure. Mundell hits side netting with his PK, and there's nothing Valeroy can do about that. The Knights are now down 3-2 in PKs, but they also shot second. Coming up is junior Adam Shine to take the next kick. If Shine makes this kick, it'll become 3-3. Each team has 5 players that they can select, and if it's tied after all those 5 players shoot, they keep selecting players. This is important because you could be not one of the 5 players selected, but still have to take a penalty kick in order to decide this game. The whistle's blown for Adam's free penalty kick. And it's good. Though Logan Morris did get a hand on it, he came very close to saving it, but Adam Shine's penalty kick had too much power and went in the back of the net. Coming up for the Spartans is number 8, Brandon Bumgard. He's been playing in an outside fullback position throughout the game and has had a very well-controlled game. He has a lot of composure on this ball, which means that the Francis Howell Spartans have a good chance of making this PK. And Valeroy with a huge save. Big save by Corey Valeroy in order to put the Knights up if the Knights can make this shot. It's currently 3-3 with the Spartans, but the Knights shot second. There's once again some controversy on the field because a player is accusing Valeroy of encroaching as Logan Morris previously did. Therefore, the ref, who is in the correct position, did not see anything, and no call is made. Senior Richie Taylor now lining up to take this penalty kick. If he makes this puts the Knights in the lead. The whistle's blown. Oh, and Richie Taylor goes just wide of the goal. Clearly frustrated about the decision, it is not the end of the world for the Knights. Currently, both the Knights and the Spartans are tied at 3. Once again, locked heads. Number 2, Alec Johnson is now lined up for the kick against Valeroy. With both of them being 3-3, this kick is crucial because if he misses and a Knight makes it, that's the end of the game. The Knights will win. Vice versa, if he makes it and a Knight misses, the Spartans win. Another big save by Corey Valeroy. He is killing these PKs. He seems to be able to perfectly tell where a shooter's going to take them. This means that if number 8, Joel Arena, is able to make this kick, the Knights will win this game. It's currently 3-3, Spartans and Knights, and if he makes this, it'll be 4-3, Knights will win. This is a crucial kick for the Francis Howell North Knights as Joel Arena lines up with the ball. The whistle's blown. And he makes it. The Knights win the game. With Joel Arena's PK, the Knights win the game. Corey Valeroy had some huge saves throughout the debacle of PKs, and the Knights are vigorously celebrating among the field. Some Central players obviously frustrated about this game, but the Knights are victorious and they are celebrating. Because of this, the Knights have now improved to a 5-1-1 record, and the Spartans decrease into a 3-3 record. This is huge for the Francis Howell North Knights, and they are excited moving into their next game.
In the celebrations of that PK, or the winning PK, all the FHN players went around Corey Valeroy and respecting his great performance and how he really carried the team through the PKs and overall made big saves throughout the entire night and only allowing 1 goal, which was nowhere near his fault, as it was just a blast into the top corner. He stood no chance. Thank you again for joining us here tonight for this high school soccer game between the Francis Howell North Knights and the Francis Howell Central Spartans. This was Dominic Kosher with my co-commentators, Sam Carey, and behind the camera, Lupe Medina, Alyssa Barber, Carson Ramirez, and Maddie Chanel. Thank you again for joining us, and we'll catch you next time.